Quote, 30 spokes converge upon a single hub. It is on the hole in the center that the use of the cart hinges. Shape clay into a vessel, it is the space within that makes it useful. Carve fine doors and windows, but the room is useful in its emptiness. The usefulness of what is depends on what is not. Unquote. Living from the void. In this thought-provoking 11th verse of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu cites the value of an emptiness that often goes unnoticed. He explains this idea with images of the hole in the center of a hub, the space within a clay vessel, and the interior area of a room, concluding that the usefulness of what is depends on what is not. In other words, separated parts lack the usefulness that the center contributes. This passage invites us to live from the invisible void that's at the core of our being, that is, to change how we think about it. Consider the paradoxical term non-being as you ponder your own beingness. You're comprised of bones and organs and rivers of fluids that are encapsulated by a huge sheet of skin molded to hold you together. There's definitely a distinctive quality of beingness that is you in this arrangement of bodily parts. Yet, if it were possible to disassemble you and lay all of your still functioning physical components on a blanket, there would be no you. Although all of the parts would be there, their usefulness depends on a non-beingness, or in Lao Tzu's words, what is not. Imagine lining up the walls of the room you're presently in with all of the elements present. Without the space of the center, it's no longer a room, even though everything else is the same. A clay pot is not a pot without the emptiness that the clay encapsulates. A house is not a house if there's no inner space for the exterior to enclose. A composer once told me that the silence from which notes emerge is more important than the note itself. He said that it's the empty space between the notes that literally allows the music to be music. If there's no void, there's only continuous sound. You can apply this subtle awareness to everything that you experience in your daily life. Ask yourself what makes a tree a tree. The bark, the branches, the roots, the leaves, all of these things are what is, and all of them do not constitute a tree. What's needed to have a tree is what is not, an imperceptible, invisible life force that eludes your five senses. You can cut and carve and search the cells of a tree endlessly, and you'll never capture it. In the first line of this verse, that hole in the center that's necessary for the movement of the wheel can be likened to the void that's vital for you to move through in your life. You have an inner state of non-being at your center, so take note of what is visible, your body, as well as the invisible essence that your existence depends upon, the Tao part of you. The following is what I hear Lao Tzu saying to you regarding this concept of living in the void in today's world. First, your imperceptible center is your vital essence. Take the time to shift your attention to the so-called nothingness that is your essence. What does it beckon you toward? The space emanates from the invisibleness that's responsible for all of creation, and the thoughts that emerge from your inner self are pure love and kindness. Your inner non-beingness isn't a separate part of you, so seek that mysterious center and explore it. Perhaps think of it as a space contained by your physical self from which all of your thoughts and perceptions flow into the world. Rather than trying to have positive, loving notions, simply be sensitive to the essence of your beingness. The way of the Tao is to allow rather than to try. Thus, allow that essential center of pure love to activate your unique usefulness. Allow thoughts that emerge to enter your physical self and then leave. Allow and let go, just like you're breathing. And vow to spend some time each day just being attentive to the awesome power of your imperceptible vital essence. And secondly, practice the power of silence every day. There are many individual ways of doing this. For example, meditation is a wonderful tool to help you to feel the bliss that accompanies your connection to your inner void, that place where you experience the way of the Tao. Vow to be more aware of the placeless place within you, where all of your thoughts flow outward. Find your way to enter the space within you that is clean, pure, and in harmony with love. The difference between saints and the rest of us isn't that they have loving, pure beliefs and we don't. Rather, they function solely from their essence, where the way of the Tao flows invisibly through their physical being. This is the primary purpose of learning to meditate, or to be in the silence, inviting your essence to reveal itself and allowing you to live in the void. Do the Tao now. Spend at least 15 minutes today living in the void that is you. Ignore your body and your surroundings. Let go of your material identifications such as your name and your age, your ethnicity, your job title, and so on. And just be in that space between, that void which is absolutely crucial to your very existence. Look out at your world from what is not, and appreciate that your very usefulness as a material being is completely dependent upon this void. Work today on befriending this what is not part of you. The 12th verse of the Tao Te Ching. Quote, "The 5 colors blind the eye, the 5 tones deafen the ear, the 5 flavors dull the taste, the chase and the hunt craze people's minds. Wasting energy to obtain rare objects only impedes one's growth. The master observes the world but trusts his inner vision. He allows things to come and go. He prefers what is within to what is without." Unquote. Living with inner conviction. In this passage of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu reminds us that far too much attention is given to the pleasures and experiences of the senses at the expense of our inner vision. Focusing exclusively on sensory data creates a world of appearances which are ultimately illusions. Since everything comes and goes, the nature of the material world is obviously restricted to transitory status. When our eyes see only the colors before them, they're destined to become blind to what lies beyond the world of appearances. We cannot know the Creator if we're focused exclusively on what's been created. In the same way, we lose our own creativity when we're unaware of what's behind all acts of creation. Sight, scent, touch, sound, and taste are the domains of the senses. If you're locked into a belief that the pursuit of sensory satisfaction is the focus of life, you'll be consumed by what Lao Tzu calls the chase. This quest for adoration, money, and power is a waste of energy because there's never enough, so striving for more defines your daily regimen. You can't arrive at a place of peace and inner satisfaction when your entire existence is motivated by not having enough. In fact, Lao Tzu states that the relentless chase is a formula for craziness. The person who lives according to the way of the Tao is referred to as a sage or a master, an enlightened being observing the world but not identifying exclusively with what's visible, being in the world while simultaneously aware of not being of this world. The master goes within, where inner convictions replace the chase. In silence, sustenance is enjoyed beyond the dictates of the palate. From an inner perspective, nothing more is needed. Aware of his or her infinite nature, the sage has the realization that this is a temporary world of physical appearances, which includes the body that he or she arrived in and will leave in. The master sees the folly of appearances and avoids the seductive lure of acquisitions and fame. I believe that our ancient friend and teacher Lao Tzu wanted to convey these simple truths when he dictated the 12th verse of the Tao Te Ching. First, extend your perspective beyond the sensory level. Your inner conviction knows that a rose is more than a flower, as it offers a pleasant fragrance and velvety petals. Use that knowing to perceive the creative invisible force that brings an intricate blooming miracle from nowhere to now here. Experience the essence of the Creator who allowed this blossoming masterpiece to emerge from a tiny seed. Note that the seed arrived from what we can only refer to as the world of formless nothingness or spirit. See that spirit animating the colors, the scents, and textures, and look at all of life from a transcendent perspective. You'll be less inclined to join the chase and more inclined to live from the inner conviction that your true essence is not of this world. And second, discontinue pressuring yourself to perpetually accumulate more. Let others be consumed with the chase if they choose to, while you learn to relax. Rather than focusing outward, turn inward. Cultivate awe and appreciation as inner touchstones rather than an outer determination for more adoration and accumulation. When you see a beautiful sight, or hear an enchanting sound, or taste a mouth-watering delicacy, allow yourself to think of the miracle within these sensory pleasures. Be like the master who prefers what is within to what is without. Allow things to come and go without any urgency to become attached to this ephemeral world of comings and goings. Do the Tao now. Plant a seed and cultivate it, observing its inner nature throughout its lifetime. Journal what's within the bud and gaze in awe at what's in that seed that will one day create a flower. Then extend the same awe to yourself and the seed that had you contained inside as well. Use this as a reminder of your invisible inner self, which is the Tao at work.
Thank you for staying with us until the end. If you're ready to unlock your true potential, we have a special opportunity. The Billionaire Brainwave program is designed to tap into the deepest layers of your mind to manifest wealth and success. It's a game changer for those ready to elevate their life. Click the link below to access it now and begin your journey to abundance. Keep growing, keep manifesting, and stay blessed.